welcome everybody. This is the first episode of Cooking with Dave and Nikki, presented to you by the Whitetail Experience. Today, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do baby back ribs on the fire. This show is primarily going to be wild game, but sometimes we're going to throw in some ribeyes and some baby back ribs and some other stuff. So here's what I'm going to do to show you how to do it. First thing you got to do is get a beer. Take a drink of that. Get close up on this. I've already got them seasoned up pretty good. I used primarily some Famous Dave's rib rub. You can use any kind of other rub you want to, or you can make your own just of like salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika, etc. But here's what we're going to do. I got the fire going here, as you can see. So a big part of this is cooking on the fire is you want to have consistent temperatures. So what you want to do is you want to get that fire cooking for maybe like an hour or 2 hours beforehand. You don't want to just first start the fire and then start cooking on it, because you're going to get flare-ups, you're going to get uneven temperatures. You don't want that. What we're going to do is we're going to put these straight on the grate by themselves. I actually threw a piece of cherry wood on there on top, and it's going to bring a little bit of cherry smoke. I mean, there's some other wood in there as well, but it's going to bring a little bit of that cherry smoke through. And we're basically just going to smoke these things. You kind of feel how hot it is. It's not that hot. This really isn't going to be the primary cooking of it. We're going to set these on the grate just as they are. Let them get charred. Let them get some of that smoke. Let them get browned up a bit, and then we're going to do the next step after that. All right, so I'm going to leave these here for probably an hour, maybe longer. We'll see how it looks, and I may raise and lower that depending on the temperature of the fire, and I'll just adjust it with, as I'm using logs and stuff like that. On to the next step. All right, now these have been on here about an hour. I flipped them a couple times, kind of raised and lowered them a little bit just to keep them in a decent heat level. And I'm gonna pull them off, and I'm gonna wrap them in some foil, and I'm gonna add some stuff to it. I'll show you here in a second. All right, as you can see, the bone's already starting to separate from the meat a little bit. These things are getting good and tender. But now I'm going to add a little brown sugar to both sides. Just sprinkle it on there. You can be a little liberal with it. It's not going to hurt anything. Throw some out on the bottom side, and when I use 2 pieces of heavy duty foil, that way you don't get any rips or tears. Flip that over. I like to cook them with the bones down, because you got a lot more fat here on the top, and let that cook through. This brown sugar will caramelize, and it'll end up being real good and soak right into the meat. It would be great. So I'll put the brown sugar on there. I also use some minced garlic. Kind of spread that out evenly. Then I got sliced up pieces of butter, and I'll just spread those out. Now I'm going to wrap this up. Make sure you get a good seal, because you want those juices to stay in there. You don't want the juices to be dripping down and dripping out of it. And at the end, you might even be able to dump the leftover juices on top of it when you go to eat it. So what I do is I like to go over top like this and do a fold here. And I'll bring in the edges, just like that. And plus, doing it this way kind of gives you built-in handles. Kind of works out. Now I'm gonna put these back on the fire, and I'm gonna actually lower them and get them down closer to the heat itself, because the foil is gonna protect it from burning, you know, obviously to a point. But you know, you get this down close to the heat, and I'll leave it on there for another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and then get that stuff real soft, and it'll start to be just fall off the bone. They'll be great. Show you here in a second. All right, I got it all wrapped up, ready to go. About to put this grate back on the fire, but first, you got to get you another beer. Now onto the fire. All right, just pulled these suckers off the fire. Let's see what they look like here. But first, you grab another beer. Pretty tasty. Take these bad boys out. Once you come over here and look at this stuff close, I'm gonna open it. Oh yeah. I hope those look good. You can smell the brown sugar is really coming off of there. That's the first thing you smell, is that little sweetness, this perfect barbecue. Just gonna take one out the center here. Look at that. How juicy that is. Try to taste this. Perfect amount of sweetness with that brown sugar, with the garlic, the paprika and stuff. This thing's on point. I'm gonna go ahead and make some plates of this, and we're gonna slam on it tonight. But first, take another drink of beer. First episode of Cooking with David and Nikki closed out.